Are you secretly on the autism spectrum? Find out now? Want to know if you're autistic or not? Look, let's cut to the chase. This isn't about labels. It's about understanding yourself, how your brain works, how you interact with the world. Because when you understand that, you can start living your best life. Plain and simple. We're going to talk about autism in a way that makes sense, in a way that you can relate to. We're going to ditch the jargon and the technical terms and talk about real-life experiences, about what it actually feels like to be on the spectrum. And trust me, this isn't about self-diagnosing. This is about information, about awareness. This is about giving you the tools to say, hey, this resonates with me, and then taking that next step to get some answers. Let's talk about social situations, parties, work events, even just hanging out with a group of friends. Do you find yourself feeling drained, exhausted, like you just ran a marathon even though you barely moved? That's a big one right there. A lot of people on the spectrum, they find these kinds of interactions really challenging. It's not that they don't want to connect with people, it's that the whole social dance, the unspoken rules, the hidden cues, it's just plain overwhelming. They might miss social cues that others pick up on easily. They might say things that are totally innocent, but come off as awkward or inappropriate. And let's be honest, who hasn't been there? But for someone on the spectrum, it's not just an occasional awkward moment, it's a constant source of stress and anxiety. They might withdraw, avoid social situations altogether, and that can lead to feelings of isolation and loneliness. Ever feel like you're being bombarded by sights and sounds, like the world's volume is cranked up to 11? That's sensory sensitivity, and it's a hallmark of autism. Fluorescent lights might feel like they're drilling into your skull. The tag on your shirt might feel like sandpaper rubbing against your skin. And it's not just about being sensitive, it's about being truly overwhelmed, to the point where it's hard to focus on anything else. Imagine trying to have a conversation while a jackhammer's going off in your head. That's what it can feel like. Now, everybody's got their own sensory triggers, right? But for folks on the spectrum, it's often more intense, more frequent, and it can really impact their daily lives. We all have our interests, right? Things that get us excited, that we can talk about for hours on end. But for people on the autism spectrum, those interests, they can become all-consuming. We're talking deep dives, laser focus, encyclopedic knowledge of a single subject. They're not just interested in something, they're passionate, they're driven, they're experts in their own right. And that's not a bad thing, not at all. This kind of hyper-focus can be a real strength, but it can also be a challenge, especially when it comes to social situations. Imagine trying to have a conversation with someone who only wants to talk about, say, the history of paper clips. You get the idea. Let's be real, nobody really likes change, right? But for individuals with autism, unexpected changes can be more than just a little unsettling. They can be downright debilitating. We're talking meltdowns, shutdowns, complete and utter chaos. Imagine you're following a recipe, right? You've got your ingredients measured out, the oven's preheated, and then bam, someone changes the recipe on you, mid-bake. That's kind of what it feels like. Routines, schedules, predictability, these things provide a sense of stability, of control. And when those things are disrupted, it can feel like the whole world's been turned upside down. You know how much we communicate without ever saying a word? Facial expressions, body language, eye contact, these are all part of the social dance. But for folks on the spectrum, these non-verbal cues can be like a foreign language. They might avoid eye contact, not because they're not interested, but because it feels too intense, too intrusive. They might not pick up on subtle shifts in tone or facial expressions, leading to misunderstandings and misinterpretations. It's like they're missing some of the subtitles in the movie of life, and that can make it really hard to connect with others on a deeper level. Look, if any of this resonates with you, if you see yourself or someone you love in these descriptions, it's not about slapping on a label. It's about getting some answers, about understanding what makes you tick. Knowledge is power, right? And when it comes to autism, that knowledge can lead to the right support, the right resources, the right strategies for navigating this crazy world of ours. So don't be afraid to reach out, to talk to a professional. to get the help you deserve. And remember, you're not alone in this journey. If you recognize these signs in yourself or a loved one, it might be worth seeking a professional evaluation. Understanding autism can lead to better support and resources. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more informative content.